Special guest in the studio with Open Door, Jack Minjes and Bill Turner. And Jack, I don't have any idea why you're here. I just heard that you have an announcement to make.
Yes, we do. We have, concerning our soup kitchen, this has been a big project that we've taken on, is operating a noontime soup kitchen. We presently are operating out of St. Patrick's kitchen there in the basement of their church. But we've got an announcement to make, is that the fact that the Ditchfield Center, which is at the corner of Pettis and Monotol, just north of the old ice plant, has been gifted to us, and we are going to go into there. And the first thing I want to stop and say is, number one, the programs that are there are not being thrown out of there. First thing people go through people's mind is, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to Community Cafe in the evening meal? Exactly the same as it is, because what we propose to do is to make an addition to the building, not remodel what's there, so they can continue to operate. We've met with them and assured them that we're going to do everything we can to help their program succeed. So what we're doing is we're going to be planning around that facility, and we're going to be fundraising to build this kitchen. Now, Duke Manufacturing is going to donate a lot of the equipment, but we still need to come up with about $160,000 to build a 2,000 square foot commercial type kitchen. We've got about 17,000 raised, so we got about 143,000 to go. We'd like to have the big part of that by, March, April, so that we can break ground and start in, because we're on kind of a timeline that we'd like to be out of the St. Patrick's facility by October or November. They had said that they would give us a year. I'm sure that they're as nice as they've been. If we need a little longer, they would. But this is what it is. That the Ditchfield Center has been gifted to Open Door, kind of shifting our thinking about where we're doing it, what we're doing, a few other things. Bill, you have something to say about it?
Yeah, it's just really appreciative of the Ditchfield family for this great gift. It just comes at a great time, of course, in getting this project going. And so we can't thank them enough. What a great family, and we're dedicated to continuing on their legacy on that property. For 20 years, they've been doing great things for the community on that property, and we're dedicated to building upon what they've done. There is an important point that needs to be made, in that since we are now serving on the east side of town, and we'll be eventually moving over there to which is more the northwest side of town, we want all of our patrons to know that we're not leaving them. We will be opening up a second serving location on the east side. In other words, we'll be preparing the meals at the new building at the Ditchfield Center, and then we will be transporting, serving there also, but then transporting over, and we haven't got the location identified yet, but we'll be serving there. We know that through doing a survey of our patrons that there's a significant number of people who do not have the resources to be able to travel from the east side over to that location to eat. So we're not going to leave them out. We're going to take care of them, and we'll be serving over there, and we'll get that set up.
As you mentioned, Jack, the fundraising, you got over $100,000 to raise. Anything in particular on the horizon for trying to achieve that goal?
We're going to be out and talking to the public. We'll be talking to individuals. We'll be doing radio programs. We'll be doing articles in the paper. There's a number of people that have been very generous in the past. And I think when people hear about it, the one thing about this community, if you've got a good project and you can lay it out and explain it to people, people will get behind what you're doing. And I really believe that's going to be the case. One of the things that would help people to understand what we're doing is if they'd come and volunteer a day or a part of a day in the soup kitchen. They're there basically from 8:30 to 1:30. But even if you just came for a few hours, especially during the time that they're serving the meal, you might see why we feel that this is such an important thing. I know I talked to a gentleman this morning at the food pantry who's there volunteering, and he says, I've heard about it, but this is the first time I've ever been in it. And he says, whole lot more than I ever envisioned. And I think that that's the case with a lot of people. Now, to donate, we'd like for them, they can either donate by writing a check and mailing it to Open Door at 111 West 6th Street. they can go on to our website, which is www.opendoorservicecenter.org. Click the donate button. The page will open up. And on that page will be two buttons. One will be for our regular giving, which we have to continue because we're going to continue to do everything we're doing. But then there's one that says the Soup Kitchen Project. Punch on that. They can donate us through PayPal. Very secure. They can do it that way. I also tell people if you don't want to use either of them, I'll be willing. If you just want to give me a call, I'll come out and pick up the check. But mark it Soup Kitchen or Feeding the Hungry, and it'll go into that project. And I want people to understand, yes, we like big donations. That's always, but I tell you, every donation is essential. I mean, if people give 50, 100, 200, 500, we've had a number of $500 donations. Those all add up. We need some of the big ones because that's what's going to help us get there in order to start the construction.
What about for volunteering? Is the website the best resource for that too?
Well, actually, we don't have it set up quite yet. I'm actually in the process of setting up a web-based volunteering page. But right now, the best thing to do is on the Soup Kitchen volunteering is just to call me, and that's Bill Turner at 660-620-6225. That's 660-620-6225. And I'll explain, we'll get together on what the best time is to fit the individual schedule and what we've got going on, and we'd be glad to have you.
All right. Exciting news with Open Door. Best of luck.
Thanks very much.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate all the support from the community, and really excited about getting this project completed and serving the community better even than what we have in the past.
We can see a lot of new things. This just opens up a whole lot of other opportunities that we've thought about at times but never had space and things like that. And I think that some of them are going to be able to come along, and we'll get into some of them as we go. But right now, the big thing is raising this additional 43,000 so that we can break ground, get started, get this part of it done so we can, serve more of the community. And I believe we'll pick up a number of people that were on the north side and the west side that weren't able to get over to the east for whatever reason, right, because they don't have transportation. And we serve normally between 30 and 70 a day, average about 50 a day for the noon meal. And I see that number going up pretty quickly.